I'm working on it right now.
Yeah.
We started filming last year and we're doing the post-production phase now. I'll be back in the studio next week.
Yeah.
Not say. We didn't use them. We actually did record dialogue, but they decided not to use it. But it would make sense to me for him to talk again in this last one, but I can't say the details on that.
Yeah.
Probably.
Okay.
Probably another. Probably I'll do two, but probably another two or three. It's interesting, you know. Bay gets a lot of stick, but let me tell you, I've been on a lot of big sets. I've worked on a lot of big films, and nothing comes bigger than these films. These are monsters in terms of the size and scale of the film. Like this one, A Dark of the Moon, cost $250 million. Well, if you're responsible for that, you want to make sure that it's happening efficiently and you're getting what you want, because otherwise, you know, the studio will be barking at you. You know what I mean? It will be a problem. So I don't blame him for like pushing things along, because you've got to sometimes. It's a big operation. These films are massive, you know. So I get on with him well. I understand where he's going. I understand what he's trying to do. So, you know. Mind you, know, everybody's got a different way to do it. Christopher Nolan's fast as well.
Yeah.
I worked with Chris Nolan, he's quick as well.
Were you worked with him on?
Prestige.
Oh, okay.
We worked on the Prestige. It's a different style. I mean, Christopher likes, you're doing basically what's absolutely in the script, so it's all worked out and planned, and you arrive and, you know, he walks through it and everybody knows what they're doing. Whereas Michael's much more like kinetic. He happens in the moment, and sometimes in the middle of it he'll go, don't say that line, say this instead, say the other line. And so he'll change the lines or the angles of the shots and stuff. But it makes it more alive. Like Shia ad-libs a lot.
Yeah.
Shia ad-libs a lot all the time through the film. So one of the reasons why they need somebody like me there is because you never know when he's going to stop talking.
Yeah.
So I have to wait till he stops talking and then deliver the robot, depending on what it is. But he makes a lot of stuff up. It's very creative. Hire good actors. Hire good actors.
Yeah.
It takes a long time. I mean, I've been in the game 30 years, and I started in the stage business first, spent 10 years in the West End, went stage, and so it takes a long time to transition from stage acting to screen acting. Because stage acting is all about this, and screen acting is all about this. What's going on there? And so it takes you have to bring everything down and focus it more intently on the thought process, because the camera can see right into your head. Whereas on a stage, an audience can't see that. They can't see what's going on behind the eyes. You have to do it through the dialogue and through physical expression. Whereas the camera sees what you're feeling through your eyes. Different technique completely. I got that advice from Anthony Hopkins nearly 30 years ago.
Yeah. You worked with him on a movie, or you worked with him on a movie?
No,
or you
I
just
stopped
knew
him in the street. We were walking through Soho and I was doing a video, and I stopped him in the street and said to him, I think you're the best living screen actor that was produced of your generation. And he stood and he talked to me about 15 minutes in the rain in Soho in London about the difference between stage acting and screen acting. And when anybody says to me, why do you spend so much time talking to people and all that kind of stuff, I tell that story because once Anthony Hopkins stopped in the street and he talked to me for 15 minutes. Maybe got it from O'Toole or something like that, you see. They all went through the Royal Shakespeare, they all did all that. Let's see, they all did like the National Theatre. You know, they learned their acting like I did in the West End on the stage. That's where you learn to deliver it, you know, to bring an emotion to a part. And if you do that kind of stuff for long enough, it just sinks into your bones and you get to understand it, you know, the process. And that's not something you learn overnight. You have to study it, you have to understand what it is you do.
Yeah, it's not just reading lines and
not just reading
looking at the camera.
Well, yeah, I know.
I wish he was.
Well, if that's all it was, then pretty much just became an actor just for the way they looked and
I went to see a screening of Right the other night, Anthony Hopkins.
Yeah, how was that? That came out yesterday.
Oh, I mean, to me, the film, I didn't enjoy the film so much, but just Hopkins' performance is riveting.
that's what I was looking at. I hadn't even heard you anything about it until about 2 or 3 weeks ago.
It's not exorcism.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, his performance is mind-blowing.
Yeah.
It's the Exorcist made for the 21st century.
Yeah.
Except there's no spinning heads and vomiting. Really, I mean, Hopkins' performance at the centre of it is mind-boggling. It's very, very good. You're riveted by it, you know. But the film, you know, to me was like, okay, I've seen this before. But Hopkins is great.
But any role he's ever been in,
He's great in it.
Yeah. He has no bad movies, so
Yeah.
he's like
And
Morgan
such a
Freeman.
nice man. He plays these monsters, and everybody that knows him has worked with him. Friends of mine worked on Zorro. They said, no, he's one of the nicest, generous, kind, quiet, unassuming and he's not a big guy.
Yeah.
He's not a big guy.
He reminds me of Brian Cox a little bit in his demeanor.
Brian Cox,
and
same
his,
school, you see.
yeah.
And Brian, did you know that Brian Cox played the first Hannibal Lecter?
Yeah, way back when. Good movie. I have it on DVD.
Manhunter.
Yeah,
Great
it's true.
film.
That's right.
Manhunter.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that now.
The guy who's in CSI was the star of that one, and a whole bunch of people. A lot of people, big stars, are in that one.
Yeah.
Good film. Manhunter was a good film. Well, you know, I mean, Hopkins turned it into more of a theatrical, focused,
Yeah.
you know, idiosyncratic character. So, you know, whereas Cox played it as a normal guy that you knew was a monster, but he was just playing it down. Playing it more. I know I'm a monster, you know I'm a monster, but the audience is watching me, they think I'm normal. You know, I think it was. I like both.
Oh, really?
I get on well, as I can say, I get on well with Bay. I mean, I think she was overwhelmed a bit by the size and the scale of the production. And because Shia is so good at just knocking this stuff out. He can be doing the dialogue and talking to the crew, listening. He's got new lines being given to him, and he just absorbs it and does it. And I think that kind of pressure, she was a little bit, you know. But see, Shia had been doing it since he was a kid. Shia's been working as a professional actor since he did the TV show.
I remember watching him in movies, like 10 years ago.
How's the new girl who took her place?
Fantastic. She's great. She's actually the girlfriend of Jason Statham, who's a mate of mine.
Oh, okay.
And she's great. Very down to earth, very normal, very like, you know, just was gobsmacked by the whole thing. It was like, oh my god, oh my god. So you don't, when you walk into a big set, probably bigger than this room.
Yeah.
Some of our sets are bigger than this floor. And it's filled with weaponry and actors and extras and cameras. It's a lot of pressure, you know. Every minute that goes by, it's costing tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
So you've got to deliver.
Everybody's on the clock.
When the director goes action, you better bring it.
Yeah. How was John Turturro? Speaking of him, how I thought he was.
I like John Turturro.
He's done a lot of stuff. He seems like a crazy guy.
And he's
to work
funny.
with. Yeah.
He's funny in this one as well.
He brings a good physical presence to a lot of his roles.
Yeah.
He's funny in this one. There's one scene in this where I saw the Russians. I can't tell you what it is. There's one scene in it where everybody fell about, where everybody was laughing. And I promise you, I laughed out loud. And I did. I went, that is so funny.
Yeah.
You wait till you see it. I promise you, you're going to go, that's good. That's funny.
I remember watching him back in the 90s in Brain. It was sort of like the movie that was kind of like a throwback to the old Brain. I think it was like Brain Doctor or something like that. It was a throwback to the old Marx Brothers films.
Yeah.
But that's the first role I seen him in, and I thought he was great in it.
Yeah. Something like Brother Where Art Thou. He was pretty good.
Yeah, he has a natural flow to kind of the way he moves.
What are you doing next after Transformers? What are you working on?
Well, we've got this comes out. I wrote a book 15 years ago called The Greenwood Tarot, which is a kind of cult classic now. If you're going to try and buy a Greenwood Tarot online, if you Amazon it, it'll probably cost you $1,700. So a publishing company brought in the idea of doing the Greenwood Tarot, which is called Wildwood Tarot. So we've done a new tarot book called the Wildwood Tarot, which comes out in the spring, Sterling Press. And so Mike and I are developing a comic book from that book called Greenwood. It's a graphic novel based on the characters in the tarot. so we're working on that right now. You know, Ghostbusters, you know, Transformers, you know, Star Trek, all the same stuff. And I've stolen it. Somebody said to me today, geeks of a feather flock together. And I've been using it every day.
Attention Comic-Con. This is the last
We're all we're like family. We all treat each other like family.
I'm glad this worked for them here. I really am.
Starting now at 6 o'clock, and the adult cost sign up
it's
at
all
the
about
registration booth. Thank you.
Guys that do the Star Wars stuff, the Stormtroopers, all the charities, it's very good.
And it's fun.
And it's fun. It gives you guys a chance to dress up as somebody else and, you know, do some good in the world. That's not bad thing.
And, you know, there's a lot of good things for charity. People don't realize that, you know, what we do dress up in costumes actually helps. People are drawn to the attention to it, so they want to give. That's the plus about charity.
There's always somebody who goes through the person. Come up here and they go, it's like, it's like, it just takes you out. You know, you just go,
That's like, you know, I got to meet Ernie Hudson. And it's like,
Ernie Hudson,
it's one of my dreams, you know, meet Ernie Hudson. Now all I got to do is get the other two and I'll be all right. Actually, the other three. But